So last week I posted The Boxer, which is a microfilm or a vignette, I suppose you could call it. I don't want to call it a short film because there wasn't, it was barely a scene, right? It was a 2-minute project that I shot in my apartment, this space. And I don't know, it was an exercise for me. It was something I wanted to do to keep my skills sharp, to try out a couple things, to get some cool shots for my reel. Something big that I want to do this year is make more narrative-based shorts. I want to make more of those, and I want to post them more, and I want to be better about creating for myself. So that is why I made The Boxer. So I figured today I would break down some of the lighting setups that we did, just because they were pretty fun. They were very DIY, and I think it turned out pretty nice. So we'll start off with the first shot. It's pretty quick, and I do use that shot twice, but this was super easy. So one thing to note is that for almost this entire thing, it's colorful, I suppose you could say it. This film was heavily inspired by David Fincher. I love David Fincher. I love his work, and his storytelling ability is just insane. Like, his brain as a filmmaker is crazy. And so kind of the color and the feel of his like grungy, gritty look. And so for this, we shot it with a single tube light, off screen right, or camera right. It was a Nanlink Pavo Tube 7C or something like that. I'll link it in the description, but just kind of blasted it towards the door to kind of simulate moonlight coming in through the windows, just kind of a room light, sort of a fill. So the one gripe I have is I wish I had bigger lights for this project, just because you can kind of catch some shadows that are a little bit weird, and a little bit inconsistent, which is just the nature of shooting things quickly and on no budget. So moving on. The second shot, so this yellow light that streams in is legitimately just the hallway light of my apartment, which is pretty cool. It looked really nice. I wasn't getting any flickering from it. And it complemented the blue really nice, which was pretty cool. So now for the blue, I didn't want that shadow to be so harsh on the wall that I got on the previous one. So I kind of put it up high above the windows and kind of beamed it down, to kind of get that backlight on the subject, which is me, on my face. And we kept that the same for the next shot, the kind of more close-up, where I put my head on the door. Really simple, single light. I think we did use a bounce just underneath the camera, because shooting this dark, we started to lose a little bit of the detail in the shadows, and I didn't want to do that. So did that. Looks pretty good. Same with that third angle, the medium. And yeah, we shot each one of these takes like maybe twice. Yeah, so this bathroom scene was the same setup the whole time, and which was pretty rad that it worked so well. If I had had more time, I would have shot the mirror shot a little bit more intentionally than we had time for. We shot the bathtub first because that was like what kickstarted this whole idea. And so we spent the most time lighting that, and then we spent less time lighting pretty much everything else. And this bathroom one, we kind of had to shoot last because we didn't want me to mess up my makeup, and so we only did one take of it. But we stuck the green light up high, kind of balanced it on the shower. And then for the yellow fill, that's just from the hallway outside of the bathroom. Again, really lucky that it didn't flicker or anything weird. Now, one fun thing, I did forget to use the faulty bulb effect that I had on the bathtub shot that I shot it in camera. And so in post, I had to kind of do some coloring magic to get the same flicker. And that kind of sucked to figure out, but we got it, so. And then, yeah, the bathtub was kind of the biggest one. I saw an Instagram post of a bathtub shot that I really liked, but I thought I could do it different and in a way that made more sense to me. And so we shot this. Same thing, beamed that light down because I wanted a far side key. I wanted it to, I wanted to shoot shadow side, shoot on the dark side of the moon, if you will, and get that dimension, which is really hard to do in such a confined space. You're up against a wall. And so I was kind of left with getting something high up or getting something like bouncing off of the wall, and then you get weird reflections. So we just did something kind of high up, and at first we didn't have that hall light coming in as a fill, and it didn't look very good. It was just like really green, and the flicker was a lot, and that was just tough. So we kicked on that hallway light, and it just offered a little bit more realism, something a little more tangible, and looked really nice. So yeah, that was kind of how we shot that. It took, I think we did it in about 4 hours. My sister, who also did makeup, helped, hit record and give a couple notes or thoughts that she had along the way, which was really fun. And ultimately, I'm really stoked with it. It did come together a lot in the edit. It was a lot of sound design that some of it was captured natively, and some of it we had to add a bunch on the back end. The point of it was that, like, let's tell a story with something really small and really contained. Something that keeps you interested, keeps you engaged the whole time. So in order to do that, we kind of had to add in some sound and give it something that it's moving towards. And I think we got there. I'm really stoked with how it came out, and I'm really stoked that people are enjoying it. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's like 2 minutes long, and I've got another one that is not rendering currently, but it's in the render queue. So should have another fun vignette up, who knows, maybe next week. Cheers.